Hey guys, here's part 4. I don't really have that much to say, but actually, I do. I just have to say, I'm sorry for the spelling mistakes. I wrote this on my computer. I literally, was fixing all the spelling mistakes for Grammarly, but there's still a bit of parts that are, messed up, but I hope y'all enjoy. Watch this in 2x speed. You're gonna thank me, because it's pretty long for what? Just watch it in 2x, 3x, 1x, just make it easier for yourself. But yeah, hope y'all enjoy.
Suna is pretty pathetic. Most of his days are spent hopelessly scrolling though his phone or watching the main GC blows up, while the other quarter of his day is spent thinking about the gray-haired twin, Osamu. The wave that Osamu just exists in his mind is what Suna can't put into words, not yet at least. Suna stood in front of the mirror, quietly fixing his uniform, as he mentally prepared for the day ahead of him. Thinking back to the plan made with Komori, he couldn't help but feel a bit unsure about this plan altogether. He wasn't gonna let this bring him down, however. This was what he'd been plotting for a long while, and he would much rather have his plan failed than not even try. Today was just his day to justify flirting with Osamu, just enough to get his attention and maybe to get him to finally think. The first bell had just rang, and Suna made his way to class. He hadn't seen Osamu yet, but the twin never showed up late for any classes so far, while Suna managed to have that often, not often enough to get kicked off his team though. Thankfully today he made it early just to have time to put his plan into action. As he walked into the classroom, his eyes immediately landed on Osamu, who was currently staring at his notebook, probably reading notes for a pop quiz he didn't even know was coming up. Suna slid into the seat right next to him, trying to be as casual as possible as he took in a deep breath and leaned over Osamu. "Hey, Mia, are you actually pay attention to your notes, or are you just pretending to look busy while I came here?" he teased. His voice was light but tainted with something a bit flirtatious. Osamu didn't flinch but glanced up at him, before giving a deadpan stare and going back to his notes. "I'm just reading the notes for the test that we have today, not that you would know since you're always sleeping in class, Sunarin," he replied, his tone laced with fake sincerity, as he flipped the page delicately. "Well, I did know we had a test in this class." "Really? Who told you?" "You, right now." As Suna replied, he could not help but giggle as he saw frown form on Osamu's face. Even if he knew Osamu didn't realize the blatant flirting, he knew this wouldn't be an easy feat, especially knowing Osamu and his equally dense twin. But that didn't stop Suna from trying the whole class to let him understand his flirting. He found little ways to make it known. First it was simple touches that lasted way too long, words that were laced with something more intimate. Space that was always being intruded, and accidental nudges that were able to undoubted unfocused Osamu for a few mere seconds. Suna could not help but watch Osamu's reactions. The slight furrow in Osamu's brow when he caught Suna staring a bit too long. The long stares he returned back when Suna continues his work as if nothing happened lead to Suna having mixed thoughts on what Osamu was really thinking about their whole ordeal. After class, Suna followed Osamu to the hallway, purposefully keeping his ace matched to Osamu's. He adjusted the bag he had placed on his shoulder, watching Osamu scroll through his phone while walking. Suna saw this as an opportunity to try a pickup line on him. "Is your phone that more interesting than me, Osamu?" he said as he picked up his pace to be walking in front of Osamu a bit, just enough to see his phone screen, which of course, nothing interesting was there. "What are you doing, Suna-rin? You're always on your phone in the hallway. But I still make an effort to make sure I pay attention to you, do I not?" "You don't if you call nonchalant size attention." The whole day passed in the same manner, with flirting that unfortunately fell flat every time. BTU Suna wasn't gonna give up until he at least saw a tinge of blush on Osamu's face, but right now he needed a bit of help to make his lines stick. It was lunch right now. Suna and Osamu always shared their lunch together because Suna wasn't always that hungry at lunchtime while Osamu was hungry all the time. Osamu was currently talking to Atsumu, who had walked over to their class when the bell rang as Suan discreetly pulled out his phone to his messages. "Momo DMs. Komori, help me." "What? What's happening? I need help." "With what?" "The flirting with Osamu thing." "Oh, well, what's wrong?" "Every time I do a line we keep arguing." "Then don't agree, Komori. Be for real." Okay, I know. Are your lines discreet or really obvious?" "Discreet." "Then make them discreet. When we had that whole convo with Atsumu and Aaron, they said he got praise and public affection, but I don't think that discreet praise would work exactly." "OMG, you're a genius. But what pickup lines would I do?" "Just compliment him at this point, maybe that will get the point across." "Okay. Thank you so much, Komori. I love you." "I love you too." Before he could close his phone, Osamu asked a question. "Sunarin, who were you texting?" "Oh, I was texting Komori." "Oh cool. Suna decided against a pickup line in that moment, but around practice time, he knew he would have a lot to say to Osamu. Suna's been acting a bit odd this whole day. It started in the morning when he commented on me reading my notes, when usually he would be on his phone scrolling through it. And then he started talking about me being on my phone in the hallway when he's always on his phone in the hallway. The whole day overall was weird. Walking to the gym, alone finally, helped me organize these thoughts swirling around his head. Of course, he liked having Suna or even Atsumu when walking to the gym, but sometimes he needed a break from it all, so he could just get back a bit of mental energy for the practice ahead for him. Walking into the gym, he was surprised to see everyone already dressed up for the practice. Well, not really surprised, the whole team was filled with volleyball freaks and his brother. But there was one person, seemingly absent from them all, Suna. As he walked into the dressing rooms, he wasn't surprised at all to see Suna dressed out, sitting on one of the benches seemingly waiting for him. "Why are you not out with the team, Suna? I just wanted to wait on you, make sure that you came to practice today." "Why wouldn't I be at practice today?" "I don't know, you're pretty spontaneous." "Okay, sure." He walked over to one of the stall, getting changed quickly and efficiently as he saw Suna waiting there still, as he put his school clothes in his locker. "Would you still be waiting here if practice already started?" "Yeah, as long as I get to walk out with you." That caught him off guard. It seems like Suna caught on to this fact too, as a small smirk started forming on his lips. Shaking the feeling off, he made a quick quip back to make it seem like he wasn't just previously spooked. "Yeah, sure, let's just go before we get extra laps to do." Whatever Osamu said about Suna being weird before practice, scratch that. Suna was acting weirder. Every time he scored a point, or did anything to help his side during scrimmage, would Suna always give him a compliment? It was weird, and it made Osamu's face feel hot on some occasions. The whole day was weird, and he knew that the team realized what was going on, but nobody said anything about it at all, so he was just stuck. And during all of practice, he tried to tell Suna to stop every time, but every time he would attempt to get the words out, his tongue would be tied up in his mouth. His stomach would feel sick, and cheeks would feel hot as if they're telling him not to do it. It was a strange day all around if you couldn't tell. But finally, the day was over. He's just left the gym, waiting for Atsumu so they could finally leave this school and this confusing day away. Scrolling through his phone, he looked up when he heard the doors open only to see Suna walking towards him. He internally rolled his eyes as Suna walked up to him, his bag thrown over his shoulder. "You going home, Osamu? What does it look like?" "It looks like you're just standing there. Aren't you supposed to be heading home by now?" "I am, but I just wanted to see you before I went away. You see me every day, but I don't see you every night, which is a bummer, because you know I love being around you." "What? Anyways, you're right, it's time for me to get home. Talk to you later, Mia." With that note he left, leaving Osamu, shocked, flushed, and baffled. It took a few minutes for Atsumu to finally leave the gym, only to find Osamu still in that state. "What the fuck happened to you? My god, he was so screwed."